Okay, so are you ready to learn about how true physiological birth works? I'm about to blow your mind because this is a lot of things that moms don't know about. They talk about dilation and they talk about how they're not showing any signs of labor progress. And they wonder if maybe they just don't go into labor on their own. If this is you, if you're wondering, well, what if I don't dilate? What if I don't go into labor on my own? What if birth is super painful? Then let me just give you something that's going to make you have a big sigh of relief. First of all, the way that birth is being taught in the medical system and the way that it is perpetuated in our culture and the way that it's being treated in the hospitals is actually why birth is so painful. I discovered this firsthand because I've had two natural births. One was in the hospital, completely unmedicated, except for when I asked for the gas and air. And the other one was at home, where I was actually high on my own gas and air. Because the fact is that when I took the gas and the air in the hospital, I was doing it because I wanted to escape the environment. If you've been following me for a while, then you know that I have these 5 pillars of empowered birth. You need the right mindset, the right education, the right environment, the right facilitators, and the right support. Today, I'm giving you the right education so that you can understand your physiological birth process. And if you really want to dive deep, this book, Reclaiming Childbirth as a Rite of Passage, goes into great detail more about physiological birth and how it works. So if you really love to read, then I suggest Rachel Reed's book, Reclaiming Childbirth as a Rite of Passage. It's one of my favorites. It's what I recommend to all of my clients. I wish that this had been around when I was pregnant with my first baby. I would have understood a lot more about what was going on with my own body. And I wish I'd also understood it with my second. But all I had at the time was Rachel Reed's blog, and she didn't go into as much detail as she does in this book. She didn't have everything that she has now. And I was just starting to learn about my physiological birth journey. So if you want to know more, all you have to do is follow me on all of my social media channels, like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And make sure you're also getting onto my e-newsletter that I send out every single week that will help you in having a natural birth, as natural as possible. Not the one that leads you into falling into what I call the natural birth traps. If you go to my website, empoweringmomsbirth.com, and scroll down, you'll find that you have an option to put in your name and email to sign up for this newsletter. You're also going to get some free gifts from me, and they are going to help you to avoid the natural birth traps that are so prevalent in maternity care that you don't see coming, avoid the bait and switch, and avoid getting tricked out of having your beautiful natural birth so you're not robbed of your birth experience. You're also going to be able to know the exact steps that you need to take to get your birth plans back on track and to make sure that you actually have this beautiful transformative birth that you deserve. It's based off of what I read inside Reclaiming Childbirth as a Rite of Passage and what I've learned and discovered in the 10 years that I've been in the birth community as a doula, childbirth educator, advocate, and as a mom who experienced 2 physiological births, one at home, one in the hospital, and helped mothers do the same, including mothers who've had previous C-sections and were told that their bodies were broken and defective and would never go into labor on their own, and that they would never be able to have a physiological birth, that it would have to be a highly controlled medicalized one to be able to do this. All right, so again, empoweringmomsbirth.com, and I will see you next week.